welcome to the program. I am DEJI360. The leadership tussle rocking the Labour Party doesn't look likely to end anytime soon. In fact, the situation keeps getting more confusing by the day. As it stands today, it's difficult to say with any certainty who the authentic national chairman of the party is, as both Julius Abure and Lamidi Apapa continue to lay claim to the leadership of the Troubles Party. On Thursday, August the 24th, the Court of Appeal in Obiora, the Imo State capital, which nullified the candidacy of the governorship candidates now of the party in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states, who emerged from primaries now conducted by the Abure-led faction of the party, including Senator Ethan Achonu, who is actually running for the governorship of Imo State under the platform of the Labour Party. The court ordered INEC to recognize and publish the names of only candidates who emerged from the primaries conducted by the Apapa-led faction. The ruling seemingly recognized the Lamidi Apapa faction as the authentic leadership of the party. But fast forward to Friday, the Abure faction insisted it's still the authentic leadership of the party, saying the Obiora Appeal Court ruling did not affect it, arguing that the court only dismissed the appeal filed by one Basil Maduka in the Apapa-led faction, who is also contesting now for the the governorship candidacy for Imo State. Now, the National Publicity Secretary of the Abure faction, Obiora Ifoh, claimed that Apapa's camp had misinformed the public by twisting the judgment of the appellate court. Now, all of this comes just 10 days after a court of appeal in Benin City, the Edo State capital, seemingly affirmed Abure as the authentic national chairman of the party. The Apapa faction has since said the appeal court ruling in Benin was a mere civil matter and has nothing to do with a criminal matter before an FCT High Court, which restrained Abure from parading himself as chairman of the party. They say that order has not been vacated. Joining me now to discuss this further is Obiora Ifoh, who is the National Publicity Secretary of the party, and of course I should say belongs to the faction of Abure. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the program. Who is the authentic chairman of your party?
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me in your studio. While listening to your intro, I got a little bit confused because there is no faction in Labour Party. All that is here has always been media creation by some members of this party that were once suspended or expelled, as the case may be, because of the anti-party that they indulged in. No court in Nigeria has said that Abure is not the national chairman of Labour Party. As we speak to you, Appeal Court, which you have rightly said, last week did affirm that Julius Abure is the national chairman of the Labour Party.
And that is the Appeal Court in Benin.
That is the Appeal Court in Benin. And it will take a Supreme Court, a decision of Supreme Court, to vitiate that verdict of the Appeal Court in Benin.
Now, is that matter, just as the Apapa-led faction have argued, is that matter not different from the one in the FCT High Court? I mean, that order by the FCT High Court now asking Abure to stop parading himself as the chairman of the party, what happens to that?
No, I'm going to explain that to you.
Okay.
Let us finish the Edo version of the crisis. The party is in good state. The Edo case was on the leadership of Labour Party, where a certain ward chairman unilaterally suspended the national chairman. And that has been sufficiently taken care of on the leadership of the party. So it is not contestable if Abure is the national chairman. It is not contestable. Now, the Abuja own was a criminal matter brought before the court. And the court gave an order, an ex parte order, that Abure should not parade himself as national chairman. We have gone to the court, and the court said that it has the jurisdiction, and we have told them that they don't have jurisdiction. And they said that they do have the jurisdiction. And we went to appeal. And appeal stayed the order by the lower court and asked that everything should remain to status quo. And you and I know status quo means that Abure remains the national chairman until the matter is determined by the appeal court, whether the lower court has the jurisdiction or not. By now, this case ought to have been settled, if not because the judiciary is on recess, the court is on recess. So now, let us even talk about the criminal issue. Even if there is a criminal matter, it has nothing to do with the leadership of the party. What they are saying is that Abure falsified a signature of a certain candidate or certain aspirant in Ebonyi State. And Abure has said he did not. And the case is pending in the court. So does that mean that Abure have to step aside?
So what about this latest ruling? What about this latest ruling by the Court of Appeal in Owerri? I mean that recognized the candidates that emerged through the other faction.
You see, that is the wrong narrative. The court, the appeal court, did not recognize any Abure. As a matter of fact, if you look at the court paper, both the plaintiff and the respondent has nothing. Abure is not a plaintiff, or neither the plaintiff nor the respondent. Apapa was not mentioned. It is purely a case between two members.
But what I'm asking is, if the court says, look, recognize the people who emerged through these primaries, even giving INEC an order to go ahead and publish their names, who emerged through.
It did not say, no, that is the wrong narrative. I have the CTC here. I will send it to you. Court did not rule on that. What court said is that one of the person that took them to court, Basil Madoka, court says that he has no powers, that is an meddlesome interloper, that he has nothing to do with the case. Do you understand? Now, this case has nothing to do with Abure. That was why we went to court, wanted to join ourselves, to tell the court that these people that we are talking about has no business with Labour Party. You know what they did? They took the name of Labour Party and produced a lawyer for Labour Party without the knowledge of the Labour Party itself. They went to court, south, and agreed and procured judgment for themselves, even before the party knew about it. So when we knew about it, we quickly asked the court to admit us for us to be partner to the case. And the court said that it was late, that we fired out of time.
So you're saying now, what was reported all over the media, you're saying what was reported all over the media was wrong?
I will tell you what happened, my brother. When the judgment came out, I'm going to send you the CTs, I have them. One of their members quickly did a 3-paragraph statement and circulated it to all the media houses. If you check, the newspaper, at least I think it's only one newspaper that pushed it, because the other newspapers took time to check with their judicial correspondent, and they found out that it was a lie. They now pushed it through the social media. And the national television used the 3 statements, and even they took one of their lawyers to the studio to, be interviewed. So, but when we came with the facts to them, they apologized. That was why they dropped the news. They didn't follow up in a subsequent bulletin because they found out that they goofed. As a matter of fact, our legal advisor went to the studio yesterday and cleared the air on the matter. You see, these people that we are dealing with are known for propaganda. They're known for misinformation. That is what they're thriving. We didn't know they would be that desperate. They just churned out 3 paragraphs, not signed. Not signed. They just narrated it on how it will suit them. And of course, you and I know this media thing. The bad news thrive more. So social media jumped on it. One national newspaper that didn't verify published it online. The television granted an interview and they suspended the news letter. It wasn't used in subsequent bulletin when we confronted them. So they live in propaganda, misinformation, and lies. The CTC, I have them, is already trending. In the CTC, there was no mention of Abure. There was no mention of Achonu. How can you say that somebody that is not a part of the legal process has lost when he was not put on notice? Is not neither the petitioner or the respondent.
So essentially what you're saying is that the candidates that emerged through your own primaries are still the recognized candidates of the party in those states that
if you go to
elections are
INEC,
coming up.
That is absolutely correct, because if they have a valid candidate, they will present the matter to INEC. And INEC is known for obeying the court. INEC will remove us and put them there. But INEC simply asks them, show us where they said that Abure is no longer the national chairman. They couldn't produce it. Show us in this judgment where they said that Achonu or the other candidates in Bayelsa and Kogi are no longer candidates. They couldn't produce them. They thrive in manipulating the media space. And that is the problem we have.
All right.
We run an area of social media that people don't even verify anything before they push them out. That is the situation now. And I'm surprised when you are doing your intro, you already bought into that narrative without even looking at the documents before you. So that is the irony of what we see in this social media era. All that they banded are absolutely lies, misinformation, and propaganda.
All right, Mr. Obiora Ifoh, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for coming on the show to explain all of this.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll hopefully hear from the other side. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the president of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now, let's continue that conversation on the leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party. And now being joined on the program from Abuja by Chief Lamidi Apapa, who, of course, is the chairman or the factional chairman of the Labour Party. Chief, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let me start by asking, are you the authentic chairman of the Labour Party?
Yes, right now I'm the acting national chairman of Labour Party, which is authentic.
So, tell us about this this court, the Court of Appeal case in Abure, just a few days ago. What exactly transpired there? Because while it was widely reported that the court actually recognized you as the leader of the party, well, the other side says that's not exactly what transpired in court, that the court did not recognize you at all as the leader of the party and did not recognize your faction.
Well, it is implied the judgment is the judgment on Thursday ratified my leadership as the acting national chairman of Labour Party, because the man that took this matter to court, I'm referring to the appeal court, was also appealing against the judgment of Federal High Court in Owerri. And the same appeal now said, one, he has no right to condemn what happened on the 16th, because he was not part of that primary, and it was only that primary of the 16th that was recognized by law, because that of 15 that was organized by Abure is illegal, because the man who organized that of 15th has been restrained by Federal Court in Abuja. So whatever he does is null and void, because it's against the law. And that's exactly what happened.
Look, the candidates that will be flying your flags in the governorship election in Bayelsa State, Imo State, and Kogi State, are they from your faction or from the other side?
It's not an issue of faction. They are candidates of Labour Party. We did their screening. We did their primaries, and there is no issue of faction. These are people who have paid their money even before we took over, and we regarded it as both assets and liability, because they have all paid into the accounts of the party. We did that because it's our responsibility to accept both assets and liability. They are not factional aspirants. They are legitimate aspirants of Labour Party, and they have all paid into the account of the party even before we took over. But the screening, we did the screening, the primary, some of them who came to us enjoyed the primary from our side. And even before the real exercise, I warned them that with what is happening right now, is only the primary that is conducted by my group that is allowed by law, and anybody who does his own elsewhere is doing that at his own peril. They have been warned, and now we have been vindicated. The court has agreed, has reaffirmed it.
Which candidates are recognized by INEC? So are there candidates from your own side or from the other side?
At the moment, I don't want to use that whether INEC recognize them. Right now, the candidates from Abure side are on the INEC portals. But with all the courts rulings that we've been having, we've been sending them to INEC for them to have a change of heart. Otherwise, we know what to do at the end of the day. Because nobody is above the law. INEC is also a creation of law. And that is why those who are doubting Thomases have seen the role of the court that has reaffirmed my leadership through the court ruling.
So do you have the court ruling of, do you have the ruling of the Court of Appeal in Owerri? Do you have the ruling of that court?
Yes, I have a copy of it right here. I can give a copy to the man in front of me for you to peruse.
And what exactly does the ruling state?
What the ruling said, there are two primaries, but the one done on the 16th that was supervised by my team was the authentic one. And you cannot separate either, because the primary cannot be done by just a spirit. It must be done by somebody. And it is clear there that anyone done on the 16th, and this letter was written to INEC, indicating that we'll be having our own on the 16th of April. And the court reaffirmed that the one done on the 16th happens to be the authentic one. It is clear here. And by application, it is implied that you cannot remove one and leave one. The man who organized it is myself. Those who enjoyed it are the candidates that passed through our own primaries.
So tell us about how would you react to the judgment now of the Court of Appeal in Benin, which Abure says recognized him as the chairman of the party?
Well, they are not the same. The appeal court in Benin has to do with civil matters. It's limited to the ward issue between the ward ESCO and Abure, that the ward officials has no right to suspend him as the chairman of the party. That is civil matter. The one that restrained him in Abuja is a criminal matter, which has to do with conspiracy, forgery, and perjury. So there is difference between the two. The first one is internal matter. The other one is against the state. Anything that has to do with criminal matter is against the state.
And what is the state of that, the case now? I'm talking about the case at the FCT High Court, the one that you said restrains him from parading himself as chairman of the party.
Well, the case is coming up very, very shortly. Very soon it's coming up. Because it's a criminal matter, nobody can kill it.
So, Chief Lamidi Apapa, let me ask you, how can this whole leadership tussle be resolved in your party?
Well, it is very simple. Well, why I say it's simple is because the court order is very simple. Abure and 3 others should stop parading themselves as officers of the party. Once they do that, that's stage 1. Then other things can follow. But where they believe that they are not going to step aside, they will continue to be violating the law of the land. And we believe at our level that nobody is above the law. For as long as they continue to violate or to flout the order of the court, then the struggle continues. We won't leave them to go unpunished because nobody is above the law.
So you're ready to drag this even up to the Supreme Court?
To any level, as far as law is concerned.
And I'm just bothered if this would not affect the chances of your party, for instance, in the coming governorship elections in Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo states.
I don't think so, because the party will become stronger at the end of the day, because people will understand the truth and they will live by it.
Chief Lamidi Apapa, thank you very much for coming on the program, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a short break now, but coming up, 5,166 Nigerians killed and 1,830 abducted in 2023 alone. Stay with us, don't go away.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the president of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything: opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.